pitching, it was more the hitting, stepping up. And at the end of the weekend, you guys gave up 30 runs, about 19 of them with 2 outs. What were your takeaways from the arms in general?
Well, obviously we got to be better. We got to be better when we're hitting counts. We got to be better. We got an opportunity to end an inning, right? You're right. They had way too many runs with 2 outs. And before today, really, they had 4 big innings in the first two games that accumulated most of their runs. And one of those innings we had 2 outs and nobody on, and it was a 2-out walk. On another inning, we had 2 outs men on first base, no runs in. They scored 5 runs after that. So definitely got to be better on the mound. It's the first time around that none of the starters went deep into the game. But look, that's a good team. We told the guys that's not a 2-7 team. That group was a game away from Omaha last year, and they're actually an Omaha sleeper going into this year. The knock on them, I guess, was if they could figure out their pitching, they're an Omaha team. So that 1 through 5 is as good as any we're going to probably face this season. And they battled, man. They were tough out, especially with 2 strikes and especially with 2 outs. And the difference today was that we answered. Every time they did some damage, we came back and answered. And again, it's not a lack of effort. This is a tough game. Tough game. They had some balls yesterday that, swing and bunt with bases low that could have gotten us out, and then a little flare. It's baseball, But today, I'm really proud of the way the guys responded and matched them run for run and swing for swing, and a couple extra runs more than they did.
0-2 counts. Oh, go ahead. 0-2 counts seem to be killing us. We're throwing non-competitive pitches, or we're getting something too easy to hit.
You're a baseball guy, aren't you?
Well,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But way too many non-competitive. You watch Major League. That's a difference that we see. That if a Major League pitcher has 0-2, they're missing the right way,
right,
down and away, throwing the sliders, something they could bite at hitting the ground. Our guys are just
you're absolutely right. Going into this, it was a stat that we were getting hurt in those counts, and now we got to readjust again, and like you said, it's got to be competitive pitches and usually a quality pitch is going to get an out in 0-2, 1-2, and we're throwing. Now we're afraid to leave the ball over the plate and throwing some, pitches that just there's no chance the ball out of the hand, right? And all we're doing is allowing them to get back into the count, then forcing them to throw a 2-2 fastball or 3-2 fastball, or whatever it might be. So you're absolutely right. That's all part of giving up 30 runs in 10 games.
Allows to get them straight, huh?
You better. But we will. The guys, they understand what they're doing, but it's just almost like an over adjustment from last week to this week.
So speaking of last week, the pitching was outstanding last week. Going into this week, it wasn't really as competitive as it was last week. Third time's the charm next week. Do you believe that you can get the guys to finally put everything together for ACC play?
Well, that's the goal. We're not waiting till next week to do it. Every game, we're trying to put the whole every asset of the game together. So that's always the goal. We're not waiting till next weekend, or we're hopefully Tuesday we put it all together at UCF. It's a team that. We owe a lot of guys for last year, and that's one of those teams that are on our checklist. We got to get after those guys and pay back, go to their place and beat them. So I'm happy with the way that we swung the bat. A couple of guys had opportunities that haven't been playing. Peralta and Renzo did a great job today. So it's a game of opportunity, man. When you get it, make the best of it, and be back in the lineup tomorrow.
Can you speak on the resiliency of the team, especially with the hitting go down early 2-0, and then there goes the Galvin home run, and then even Jake continually hitting the way that he's hitting?
There's a lot of things I worry about with this team, and whether it's the pitching or the hitting or the base running or defense. Resiliency is not one of them. I mean, this is a special group, man, and that's not one of the things I'm worried about. We're going to have our bad games. We're going to get our whoop pretty good at times. It's going to happen. It's a game of baseball, but I'm not worried about resiliency and our ability to bounce back and answer back to anybody or any situation we're in.
Touching up on the defense, Tanner Scott struggled a little bit this weekend behind the plate. I believe he had about 3 errors attributed to him. What were you seeing?
Just not routine plays, trying to make big plays and then just not making good throws. It's part of it. I think probably honestly, one of the worst things we did this weekend was controlling the running game. You can talk about all the 0-2 counts and walks and whatever you want, but controlling the running game is huge, and you're always a pitch away to keep that guy at first base. And it seemed like they were just in motion, and our infield was out of position, and they're hitting ground balls, almost like unintended hit and runs. So we got to do a better job of that. We learned a lot about our team this weekend, and I always say you learn more from failure than you do success, and we failed at a lot of things, and we got to fix them. We got to get better at them.